Hey everybody, this episode of Dr. Drew After Dark is brought to you by Embark. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. Right now, let's get on with the show. Everybody, welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Christina P. and I are here to take your phone calls. Very first time now we can be interactive.
Yeah.
Live calls, everybody. Do not forget, get the After Dark merchandise at merchmethod.com/Tom Segura. And now you don't have to send us emails, or you can if you want, and certainly no more voice messages, because now you call in. You just wait for us to tweet out, and we will take your calls. And we're lining up calls now as we speak. But before we talk to everybody, we're going to do a little Corona recap.
What's going on? Nothing's great. Nothing new.
Let's go back to poo-poo
Just
talk.
Same old, same old.
And believe me, our callers will oblige with the poo-poo talk.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yes.
In the midst of a pandemic and a recession and the apocalypse, people still want to talk brown.
3 out of 4 calls there are brown and blowjob.
What? Do you see?
And I love your community. I love it. They will not let anything take them off the mark. Right?
But first, let's talk my coronavirus,
Yeah.
because it is. I'm depressed. I got to be honest. I wake up in a good mood. I do my exercise, and then by mid-morning, I'm feeling in a funk. By the time I turn on CNN, I'm in like depression, and my body feels heavy.
So it's the media that makes you sick, right?
Well, makes
media
me. Yeah.
Media is making us sick.
Yeah.
Cable news is making us sick, and it's not just the cable news. It's social media, all media.
Tell me everything, Drew, because you're the one I listen to.
There's footage of me five weeks ago. Let's see. I actually look at when that exactly was. Approximately 5 weeks ago, I was screaming at the camera going, I could tell the way they were reporting on the Wuhan thing, the language they were using at the beginning of that epidemic, that they were hell-bent on making it seem like the end of the world was coming. And they have not stopped ever since.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, shut up. You need to shut up about this, because you're going to make things worse. Go ahead. Let the people whose job it is to protect us do their job, listen to what they tell us, and we'll be fine. Listen to the CDC, listen to Anthony Fauci. I've been working with him since the AIDS epidemic.
Is it Fauci or Fauci?
You can do either way.
What is he? Is he an Italian?
He's Italian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, he was there with his exquisite judgment. I've been through multiple epidemics with the guy. I've been through 2 pandemics with him. And you don't even know it. We were in a pandemic in 2009, and nobody remembers it.
Didn't know it. Which one was that?
That was the H1N1.
Yes.
I developed that vaccine.
That's great.
That was a terrible illness. I had that illness, and it infected 1 billion people. 1 billion, killed 500,000, mostly 40 to 6-year-olds.
Oh my God!
Not old people, young people.
So how did we avert that crisis?
Well, we gave some recommendations by the CDC, more hand washing. We isolating people who are sick, whatnot. It was more what the hospitals did in response to it, and we took care of it. And you don't even know what happened.
No.
And it was a more serious this one. It's not fair to compare one pandemic against another, because this one has its own characteristics. It's more contagious. It's
was I going to ask you, is H1N1 wasn't as contagious?
Was not as contagious, and it was not as fatal overall.
Okay.
But it was fatal for a certain age group. And here's the same thing. The fatality rates, like in Italy, I heard a lecture yesterday or the day before where they were saying that the fatality rate in the young people was 0.1%, same as the flu.
Okay.
And in 75-year-olds and above, it was 8.5%.
So this is boomer cleanser, is what you're saying. This is the
boomer blow.
This is the problem, the Social Security.
Yeah, right. With Social Security, no longer a problem.
What problem?
Oh my God, you're awful.
Yeah.
And so my thing from the beginning of this whole thing is people accuse me of wanting to put the economy or jobs ahead of lives. No. I'm interested in saving lives, but there's a way to navigate this thing and not upend the entire lives are going to be ruined by this.
That's what I'm. That is why I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm afraid of getting this virus.
Mm-hmm.
It is that you're talking about people who have to keep their children home, who can't go to work, like the waitress at the fucking comedy store.
Yes.
Like those people.
Yes.
We're screwed.
Now the government is stepping up kind of nicely to give them some support. I really dig what the government's doing, and so in a way, I'm kind of like, okay, we're showing ourselves at our best, and this is good, but I don't think it's going to be enough, because the panic that the press has created, the panic, and then the politicians are now virtue signaling by the intensity of their restrictive responses. Like, I can out-restrict you. I'm going to say 50 people. No. In Los Angeles, it's going to be 10 people. Then Trump will come out and go, all right, 5 people. That's it. No more than 5 people.
Right.
And it's all virtue signaling.
Wow.
Anthony Fauci didn't say we're stick below 50, did he?
No, I didn't hear that.
He said 50. That's your number. Listen to Fauci. That means you can go to dinner.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that's what he listened to what he says. Now, you've noticed how smart he is and how good he is, right?
Every time Trump says some untruth, he says it so loud and clearly. Right. Literally, inches from him. Yeah. No, it's actually the vaccine's going to be ready more like in a year. Yeah. Like he corrects him, and I'm like, great.
Yes, and he's allowed to, which I love too.
Great.
He's the only guy allowed to contradict Trump and not get fired.
Yeah.
So it's good, and so you're getting the real stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed, having again been through other epidemics with him, it's all starting to feel a little familiar to me. So
tell me everything.
Back during the AIDS epidemic, he started using rhetoric that was excessive. Not untrue, but rhetorical flares that were like, hey man, and I bought into it at that time. I was like, yeah man, we're gonna have 3 million dead if we don't do this. We got they're not changing their behavior. We need to scare them with the facts. We literally, we adopted that policy.
So we mean, like, he would say stuff
we would say, it's not just in risk categories. You have to use a condom every time or you're gonna get HIV.
Yes, I
Remember
bought it.
That?
Ruined my college years.
We ruined the life for people in college and high school in the 90s.
Destroyed my life.
And I did a radio show dedicated to reinforcing all those points. So
wait a minute. I think it was you that terrified me.
I was on board with it totally. Stop it in the other room.
You ruined
We saved her from herself.
Oh my God. I could have been fucking,
You could have been.
I do miss those.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway.
Yeah.
So Fauci, so tell me everything. Yeah.
So now that I'm seeing the rhetorical excesses that he's using, you'll notice he'll say something extreme, and then about between 8 and 11 minutes later, he'll come back up to the podium and go, no, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. So look for that. Look for what I meant was, because he doesn't quite deliver the right message up front.
He overdoes it.
Let me give an example. Yeah. Our testing is a disaster. Okay,
right.
He said those words came out of his mouth.
Shit.
Then he came back around and he goes, no. He goes, you have to understand what I was saying. What I was saying was we were using only diagnostic testing, and we set up an excellent program for diagnostic testing, but we need screening testing now, which requires something different. That's what he should have said. And he did say it the next day. In the meantime, a whole news cycle goes by with him saying testing is a disaster.
Right, and which is me sitting on the couch by 7 p.m. stuffing my face full of brownies and alcohol.
Stop with the Oreos. I mean, you got to call me, and I'll interpret what he's saying.
Oh shit! You don't want me calling you now.
But so he always clarifies. He did it today during news conference too. He clarifies what he means, rather than being clear up front, which is. There's a liability there.
He's an emotional guy because he's like, this fucking sucks. Okay, I didn't mean it.
And he's using rhetorical excess to make sure we flatten the curve. All of his recommendations, all you need to do. Don't listen to the rhetoric, just follow his recommendations. I've been saying that from the beginning. Say it now. And Mike Pence has been spot on too. Whatever you feel about him, he seems to push aside everything and is now listening to scientists.
Yeah.
And good for him. He did that during he had a bad opioid and AIDS epidemic in Indiana.
I thought you said addiction. I was like, he was on opioids? That guy he knows how to party.
He had an outbreak in Indiana, and he took care of that. He listened to doctors and really took care of that. And so when Trump named him as the head of this thing, I thought, oh, good, because he knows how to take this information and lead it, because he did it in Indiana. We used to study it. As something that was a model for how to approach these things. So, okay. So you should feel good about that.
Okay. Sorry about these tests, though. Yeah. Is Trumpy lying when he's like, by the end of the month, we should have millions of tests. We can test everybody.
We should. The only thing that worries me, though, is now we're still putting screening tests in place, not universal testing.
What's the difference? I don't understand.
Right. The press doesn't even know the difference. And they start talking about diagnostic screening and universal as though they're all the same thing. They are very different kinds of tests. They require very different kinds of systems. We're in the screening test phase, which means you have to have real risk, and symptoms. Then we want you to test. My fear is everybody's going to say, I have a fever. I do. It's 105. It's 105.
I do it every day. I'm like, I feel a little tickle. I'm dying.
But that's you lying to yourself.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the testing centers and lie. And so we may
jam up the system.
Exactly. So that's my fear right now.
Let me ask you this question.
Ask me.
Now, the fact that this has only been brought to our attention and been labeled COVID-19 or whatever, is it possible that we've had this virus in the United States since before China was cognizant of them having it?
That's possible, but I'm going to bet it was about the same time. If I were betting, I would say December. That
it hit the U.S.
That
really
probably was here.
Yeah.
It probably was here. And that's kind of the way viruses go. They percolate along. All biological systems kind of operate this way. They grow, and then they become exponential. That's how biological systems operate. They grow very, 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 very slowly, and suddenly you see the exponential piece come in.
Wow.
It's the way tumors grow. It's the way viruses grow. It's just the way we do it. The way biology operates. And so it had to have been here longer. It just had to have been. And a lot of people are speculating they may have had it.
I think I have.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And you asked me questions about my symptoms. So pneumonia. You want to know about the pneumonia?
So let's talk. So here's what I heard on CNN. A doctor said, okay, whatever, 80 of you are going to get it, the 80%, whatever. 40 of you are going to be fine. It's going to be mild. The other 40 are going to have pneumonia. So it sounds to me like the real danger here is getting viral pneumonia.
Correct.
Okay. I'm a doctor now.
Part of the. I'm
just trying to make sense.
The virus binds at a protein on the surface of your air sacs.
Great.
And then has to be brought in through the membrane of the cell. There's some interesting data out there that shows two commonly prescribed antihypertensives may prevent it from being brought into the cell.
What's a hypertensive?
Anti-blood pressure medicines.
Fuck, let's get on them right now.
The data needs to come in more, but it's really interesting stuff. And so I'm on one of those
You're on it already?
the time. Yeah, and it might work the other way, so we don't know yet. We don't know. The bottom line is, but it's a really interesting area of research. So it gets in, and if you have older lungs or damaged air sacs, not airways, not asthma or bronchitis, air sacs, smokers, they're the ones that it seems to be more prevalent for entry into the lung.
Hold on, what you just said, not asthma.
Not asthmatics.
So, because I have a friend who's like, my daughter has asthma.
Yes.
I'm worried about her getting it.
I've had a million questions from asthmatics. Okay. They do have a special problem, which is they don't have as much pulmonary reserve. So if they get pneumonia, it's a more serious problem for them.
What is pulmonary reserve?
Ability to tolerate the infection.
Gotcha.
That's just like let's say the lung isn't as strong.
Gotcha.
And so it could fall apart more easily if things get bad.
God, right? I'm so glad I quit smoking a million years ago.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not still.
Stop it!
I'm just saying we don't know.
13 years ago. Okay. So it is surviving this viral pneumonia.
And then the pneumonia is kind of unusual in that most pneumonias like that. The back room has become silent. Is this interesting, you guys? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
We're learning.
All right. Good. So mostly viral pneumonias cause a problem with they make the lung stiff and inelastic. This one doesn't do that for some strange reason, but it more prominently affects the exchange of oxygen at those air sacs. So the air sacs because it's just hypoxemia and low blood oxygen is no bueno for a sick person, right? That's how people start to collapse. And because the air sacs aren't working, you can't force oxygen in. They're just not working. And so mechanical ventilation works a little bit, but it's not that effective. Right.
So what can we do?
One of
those
those called extracorporeal oxygenate. They're machines that actually oxygenate blood outside of the body. There's all kinds of crazy shit.
Good luck.
Yeah. That's the stuff that if we get into a lot of that, we're going to be in trouble because that's a rare thing that rarely is
That's
needed.
oldies, right?
Yeah. The reality is by the time so all we're trying to do now is prevent surges of patients. It's not that we're trying to prevent hundreds of thousands of flu. It's going to happen. The flu is going to happen, 100,000 people. We're trying to prevent a sudden surge of need for the hospital.
Gotcha.
So it can be sort of a more orderly trickling in, so people come in and go out and go in and go out, and we're going to be fine. And believe me, hospitals are preparing for this. Believe me, they are ready. I mean, the reason Italy had such a problem is they weren't ready.
Yeah, they're Italian. They're like, we take a nap and then a salami and I can fuck with my wife at lunch. I come home. They don't give a shit. They're lax.
Well, they gave a shit when they did a good job. They did a good job once it was underway, and they did things like this is why people that don't understand hospitals and things ventilators? What are ventilators? What are we going to do ventilators? I see those reporters.
Yeah.
Here's one thing we can do immediately. Stop all surgeries. Every surgical suite has a ventilator in it. Now we're using those as ICU beds. So now you have 100,000 more ventilators and beds around. Every surgery center, outpatient surgery center, has dozens of ventilators. Wheel them across the street to the hospital, guys. We're going to use them over there. So there's so tremendous sources of resources in this country once we start flexing.
And don't forget, man, this is America, okay? We're the most innovative on the planet. We have the top minds working on this. This is going to be fine,
There will be treatments very soon.
Oh, but you know why? Because we're going to profit off of them. We're going to sell it to the rest of the world, and we're going to be number one.
Whatever the motivation, we'll do it.
Number one, America.
Numero uno.
So how is this homeless problem
that scares
contributing?
me. That scares me.
Let's
because
talk
here's
about
a constant, right? We're not supposed to be in groups of 50 or more. Here's 60,000 downtown.
Under the freeway right there.
Right. So you have 60,000 downtown.
Oh, shit,
And so
man.
the governor says he's going to put them in motels. They're not going to go.
Of course
I think more will go than would have gone otherwise because they're going to be scared.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot won't go. I mean, that's the nature of this condition.
Right,
and then what is he planning to do then?
Homeless island. Like I wanted to do a long time.
Homeless isle.
Homeless isle.
And so they are immunocompromised. Mm-hmm. They have no sanitation, and they're concentrated. So if this thing gets going down there, that's going to be bad.
Well, don't you think San Francisco is now on a lockdown? I bet that's part of the problem. No, is the homeless.
Yes. What are they doing with them? What are they doing?
Drop them in the water in the Bay Bridge.
Oh, my God.
And also, you know what I was thinking, just to give people perspective, is that I was watching a documentary about Ebola.
Yeah.
It was probably the worst 15 minutes of my life before I booped out. But when you look at that virus and you're like, that fucker was liquefying people's shit, man. You were liquid shit if you got Ebola.
Yes.
This one is like, I've got the sniffles. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? When you look at the...
And then watch the press. They use the word pandemic to imply that we're talking about an Ebola-style infection. Pandemic is a technical word that means new virus, widespread.
Right.
That's all it means. And they use that damn word like a bludgeon.
Like it's equivalent.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even call it a deadly pandemic because it's just a pandemic.
Correct.
Yeah. And pandemics come and go. They happen. They happen all the time. It's a technical term. And they're using that. You'll hear words like staggering and never before. And the language is just, they don't need to do that. It makes it worse. And then the virtue signaling by the politicians has got to stop.
It's amazing.
Gotta
what
stop.
A time. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime.
I feel like 9/11.
That was pretty crazy.
And 2008 was a little bit of similar kind of feeling to some of the stuff. But I will tell you, I feel like, much like 9/11, we pulled together during that one. If you remember the days after, we blew apart immediately afterwards. But there's opportunity for us to evolve in a positive direction here in a lot of ways. Next flu season, let's keep practicing these techniques we're doing because the flu's right at this moment. At this moment, you and I are more likely to die of flu than corona.
100%.
Right.
That we know.
Our death rate for corona at this moment is 0.00012.
I like those odds.
That's our probability of getting the flu. There's 18,000 dead so far in this country. 280,000 hospitalized.
Oh yeah, and I had it. I had it. If that wasn't corona, and that shit laid me out. I thought I was going to die. I have a question unrelated to this. I finally got my physical.
Yeah.
And my cholesterol is dog shit.
Oh.
But my boobs are cancer free, which is exciting.
Good, that's exciting.
And I got a test for tumor markers, of course.
Color.com. Oh, you got the BRCA. We got to talk about it.
Whatever the fuck my physician
ordered. Is it a spit test?
No, blood.
Oh, you got to do a color.com. It's
and that's where they do everything.
$250, yeah, $250 do everything.
Do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, does that mean that I don't have cancer if there are no tumor markers?
At this moment, you do not.
That's
doesn't
exciting.
mean you're never going to get it. It means you don't at this moment.
But that's all I think about is if I'm dying of cancer. And I'm not dying of cancer right now.
Good. Oh. Nice, easy to make you happy.
It really is, because everything else is just so terrible that to get those results today, I was like, I'm not dying right now.
Yeah.
It's exciting, man.
And the good news, and the other good news, your kids aren't going to get this flu.
That is, and my older boy has strep right now, so
he'll get that because that's still happening.
Right.
But that would make me, if this were a child-related epidemic, I'd be a different story.
Fucking straitjacket. I'd be living on Richard Branson's island.
Yeah.
Later.
It's a different thing.
Later, I take a fucking private jet. I spend every dime, and I live far, far away from all you dirt bags. I'd be mental if this killed kids.
Yeah, I know.
True.
There's a reason I'm not a pediatrician. I can't handle that. It makes me disturbs me so much. Sick kids. Oof.
Oh.
Now I'm not saying kids can't get it. They can get it. It's unusual. They usually do well with it, and if they have trouble with it, usually because they have an underlying condition of some type.
May I ask you, why are there certain diseases that children are immune? Like children generally don't get. Blah blah blah.
It's a different. They're a different system. They have
bananas.
a different biology. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean the biology of infectious disease is very specific. It's one protein on a virus or a bacteria finding another protein with which to get in with. It's got to have all the binding and all the stoichiometry and thermodynamics have to be exactly right. And then, the immune system has to be able to miss it. And it's so complicated. It's why when people would like to give nutrition advice, I'm like, stop. It's too complicated. There's few things you can say, but not a lot of things.
Like vegetables.
Vegetables good. Vegetables good. Fruit good.
Red meat
Fat's
moderation.
Better than we thought. You have to give me your numbers on fat, your cholesterol numbers.
Okay, if I remember them.
I'm going to review them with you. You don't have to give me right now. I want to review them with you.
235.
What was the LDL?
134.
It's not shit. What was the HDL?
I don't remember. He gave me 2 numbers only.
Oh, they got to give the HDL because that's what really helps you decide if it's really shit or not shit.
I'm going to text him.
It's semi-shit.
Yeah, I'm semi-shitty. I'm not going to die tomorrow.
We need the HDL and the triglycerides too.
Okay.
So we got about 10 calls lined up.
Oh.
One of them is a coronavirus call.
I guess
So
hey, man.
let's take that first, shall we? Stop it. And then we'll talk about poop and whatever else.
Thank God. Let's get back to what matters.
Yeah. Tyler, what's going on?
Hi, how's it going?
We're good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Excellent. What's going on?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. I didn't hear you right there.
Oh.
We just want you to tell us your question. That's all.
Oh, okay. My question was basically, how bad do you think the coronavirus pandemic really is for healthcare providers, like working in hospitals and other settings?
Yeah. I think healthcare providers are the only true at-risk category, right? You're the ones. But your infection control team and your hospital administration should be all over this. And the ER, in my opinion, is probably the area of most potential, right? Because every respiratory illness, it has to be, the way most ERs are getting set up right now is they're taking all the respiratory symptoms and putting them somewhere else. And then once they determine who has corona, they're taking the corona and putting them somewhere else. But the people with the respiratory illnesses now are in concentrated environments. They may be exposing one another. There may be other flus and influenza in that group. And how you protect yourself if you're working in that environment is really important. And what do you do with the people that happen to just walk into the ER with these symptoms if you happen to be the intake nurse in the ER, right? You're not fully protected yet. That's where I have concerns. It's where we don't know what's coming at us and how protected to be. I'm sure people are thinking about this in every ER in the country, and most places are being very aggressive in how they deal with it. What environment do you work in?
I'm currently actually a nursing student. I'm still in clinicals and stuff like that. I'm in Ohio. They actually canceled all our clinicals for my university. I'm at Kent State.
Yeah. I'm actually I saw that happening here too. Medical students are being sent home and stuff, and I was and you're certainly welcome to do so, Tyler. I would say healthcare providers should be at their liberty to volunteer or demur if they want, but I'm a little offended that they're pulling people. It's like it should be up. Like I
thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they were afraid of getting sick or something.
Well, I'm sure they're afraid of they're afraid of liability.
They're
afraid of you getting sick. They're afraid of liability. They're afraid of you spreading. And I get that. But I mean, I remember back during the AIDS epidemic, we didn't know what was going on. It was our responsibility to be there. We were in the middle of an epidemic. We're doctors. That's what you got to do. You got to throw yourself into it, protect yourself as best you can. And I'm very disturbed by this, hey, man, I'm not going in there, or we're pulling all the doctors out.
What a bunch of pussies. Isn't that part of being a doctor is to put yourself in fucking harm's way?
I'm not saying go in harm's way, and I'm not saying you're pussies. I'm saying that it's for administrators and schools and things to pull people out who wanting to take an oath to do what's best of the patient ahead of themselves. I mean, it's anathema to what we're supposed to be. Now, I want them to have the freedom to choose to do that, and that's fine. Anathema means like...
No, against. I know what the word means. Okay, yes, I'm very...
And I'm offended. I'm offended. I wouldn't be offended if Tyler just said, I want to step out. I go, okay, that's your own choice. But that his school pulled everybody out.
Yeah,
that's
not your fucking choice.
That's not how you want to teach doctors and nurses. And this is one of my grave concerns about medical education right now. Their schedule's more important than their care of the patients.
That's right, man. It's like when you're a stand-up comic, you don't want to do late show Friday because they're all
you
drunk.
You got to suck it up.
But you GD well do it because
you've taught me this.
You better dance, monkey. That is your job. You're selling chicken wings and beer. You sell it. Now, you said the word respiratory. That's how you pronounce that word? I've been saying it respiratory.
Either way.
Oh, okay.
In medicine, I've noticed we get into weird nomenclature.
Yeah.
I had a professor that used to say nomenclature.
Nomenclature. Emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Right. And he would sell skeletal instead of skeletal.
Skeletal. No.
I just think people get weird habits when they're.
What? But you heard respiratory when you read the word.
Respiratory.
It sounds British. Or did you learn that word in
Maybe
England?
sometimes it is British stuff. But I think when I start thinking about infectious and ICUs, I start thinking respiratory for some reason. Isn't that weird?
When you read a word and then you say it in your head wrong. Not that you said it wrong, but I said wrong words in my head, like ricochet. I'm like, that's ricochet. And then you hear someone else say it, you're like, what word?
Ricochet?
Yeah, ricochet.
What's the matter with you?
I got problems, man.
Well, now we're going back to Mommyville. Mommyland. Ready to go?
Yes.
This is our first show with calls, and we were encouraging Corona calls to give you guys an update. But
so excited.
Clearly you need a palate cleanser.
Yes.
So let's go right to it with Josh. Take this all head on. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Hitler.
Hi,
this
Hitler.
is Josh. So I have an issue. Over the past few years, I have shit myself a few times, 3 to be exact.
Who hasn't?
But it's gotten to the point where it's been a lot more close calls, and I don't know why it is that it just wants to come out.
Oh.
Are you having any trouble holding the pee-pee?
No
trouble with the pee-pee.
God,
and
I love this.
Is there anything going on with the consistency of the poo-poo?
So it's pretty solid. It's not like diarrhea or anything.
So nothing
which kind of makes
makes it more challenging here. And are you having any other weakness in other parts of your body or any visual changes?
I do have like sort of an acid reflux where I do burp a lot. I did go to a doctor to ask about that because my girlfriend was disgusted by it.
I'm talking, of course you would be. I'm literally talking about weakness, like some part of your body is weak, or you're dropping cups, or you have a little dark. Your vision goes out for a second. Anything of that sort.
Oh no, nothing like that.
And I'm not meaning to alarm you, but Christina's got this. What are you doing? Question mark over her
I
head.
love you when you do this. When you go down.
I was going down the multiple sclerosis track because sometimes you can lose pee-pee and poo-poo as presenting symptoms of that.
I was going to ask if he was pregnant because sometimes
that goes with that too.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's that.
No.
And things.
I'm not pregnant.
It's other things like hemorrhoids and sort of structural problems.
Yes.
In the region that can give you trouble, and you might want to add some more bulk to the diet. Just add some more like Metamucil to it, and see if citrusilium husk, and see if that kind of helps give your colon something to hang on to, so it's not jamming things through quite as fiercely. And if not, go see a gastroenterologist because this needs a little workup. It's not normal to be.
No.
Yeah.
Because I had this after I gave birth both times.
Well,
yeah.
You had a episiotomies.
Yeah.
You had a third-degree tear or something too, didn't you?
No, just a cut, just a full cut.
But all the way.
Full taint cut with stitches, and I would have.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
There's taint cut and full taint cut. Full taint goes through the rectum.
Yeah. No, I had my vag.
Through the rectum.
I'm sorry if I might be Yana. I remember my doctor saying, I'm going to put my finger in your rectum right now just to make sure there's still a hole there, because she was stitching me up. And I was like, yeah, dude, go ahead. I'd like a rectum.
Finish it up, please.
Please check it. I'd love a rectum.
Yes.
So she did have to create,
all
make
the way through. So you had a third-degree tear. Congratulations.
My children's heads are big. Anyway, I had that same problem where I couldn't hold the boom boom. If I had to go brown, I had to go brown.
Well, that's the point. Is there was a structural thing in the anal verge there.
The anal verge. That's a good band name. The anal verge.
Too bad you're not a goth anymore.
I know.
Let's take a little break so I can tell you about our friends at Embark. Yes, I found out that my dog does not have any risk for any genetic disorders, and that he is a purebred Australian Shepherd. Embark Dog DNA Kit is the most comprehensive kit on the market, looking at over 250 breeds and 170 genetic health conditions to help you best care for your pup, you and your veterinarian. Over 50% of dogs are either at risk as a carrier or for a genetic disease. Our panel of tests at Embark screens over 170 genetic disorders which can present in many breeds, whether mixed or purebred. Whether your pet is pure or mixed, they are not immune to diseases and health issues, but the sooner you know, the sooner you can help or reduce the difficulties. And since our pets can't tell us about their ailments or symptoms, you'll have a leg up when it comes to knowing about their health with the help of Embark. Embark is the only company with stellar customer service and vets and veterinary geneticists on hands to talk you through your results. That's so important. And it's easy to get started. They are best-in-class dog DNA test and the highest #1 rated by customers. It was developed by PhDs and veterinarians for your dog. Right now, Embark has an exclusive offer you can't get anywhere else. Go to embarkvet.com, EMBARKVET, embarkvet.com right now and use promo code DREW. You'll save 15% off your dog DNA test kit. Again, visit embarkvet.com, promo code DREW, not Dr. Drew, D-R-E-W alone, at embarkvet.com. And now let's get right back to the show. Shall we stay with the poo-poo?
Always.
Okay.
Brings me joy.
This is, I know it does. That's why I like bringing you joy. Brock, go ahead.
Hey, Dr. Drew. I had a quick question about a friend of mine who says he doesn't pee when he makes brown, and that's not normal, right?
No. Sometimes I pee and then I brown, and then as I'm browning, I make more pee, and then I have to pee again after I brown.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't pee
Like
brown
to empty
pee?
the tank.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, am I making more
he
pee
says
as I'm browning?
Every time it's nothing.
No. Your bladder is just tilting more and evacuating more fully.
Oh.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you know the
Uh-huh.
the synchronicity between where the brown and the pee is,
Yeah.
the musculature there.
The musculature.
Musculature. It's not an exact science. You know what I mean?
Huh.
It's not under full voluntary control. So you can kind of alternate, but generally it's going to do what it wants to do.
Gotcha.
And relaxing one in order to evacuate one sometimes shuts things down on the other. And so your friend is just got a little disconnect there, and things are more tightly shut down on the front when he's doing the back. And I will tell you what's really interesting after you have your prostate out, you got to the whole thing's like on a different spectrum all of a sudden.
What do you mean?
The what's the word I'm looking for where I'm using word synchronicity, but
Right, like it goes together. The pee and the brown don't go together
it's
like
just,
it used
it's
to.
just a new balance. It's a new kind of what's going on.
So wait a
here?
minute. What's your pattern?
Like to fart and not pee becomes a real challenge. that's a new challenge, and so it can be learned.
Wow.
It can be learned. What is the word I'm looking for?
Because you're pushing, so you're pushing out the fart.
And
I have the same problem, incontinence, because of the kid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I don't push farts out so much anymore.
Right, and so without a prostate, that was like a new terrain. It was new thing. So the point is, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Where you have to coordinate the coordination. The coordination is not an exact science, and it can change in different situations and with different people. And thank you, Brock, for making my partner happy. Speaking of making my partner happy, let's do a little TikTok-y, shall we? Show me some TikTok.
There have been some great talks since this pandemic.
I bet, and I don't have the. First of all, I like cleaning my palate. I feel better emotionally just talking to your mom's house community.
I do too. I feel like it's brought me out of this funk.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think we need to do this more.
I've been at like a little fight or flight response.
Oh, I think everyone's been a little fight or flight.
But I'm not afraid of anything. It's just I'm upset.
I'm not afraid of it either. I just don't know what to do with myself.
All right, this looks good. I'm already in.
Look at that. Guys, this will be my last video for a while, because I do not know how to make a PayPal, and there ain't a son of a bitch in this family's going to have the bucks it's going to take to bond me out, because I might kill Cheryl today, that's right. Look at my fucking eye. Swole it plumb up there to that fucking scar where she stabbed me with a screwdriver the last fight she started with me. Yeah, I was over at Mama's last night just visiting, and Cheryl jumped over the kitchen counter at me, flying like Usain Bolt in a fighting suit. I don't know why the bitch has always been jealous of me. So she run to the phone like the bitch made Cook County always does. And I said, you better call every law in Sequoia County this time,
long
bitch,
can they
because you're going to
be?
need help
I
crossing
think we
my
get
fingers.
that. Thanks. I
How
got
long
it.
can they be? I thought
What?
they had to be like 15 seconds or
Well,
something.
no, they can be up to a minute.
Oh, boy.
But you get
well,
the
first
picture.
First of all, please, somebody set up a PayPal for this lady.
Yeah.
If we cannot have her,
how to use a PayPal.
we cannot have her off TikTok. We need to hear more. Right?
Oh, I agree.
She could be a new RPC type
Oh,
situation.
she's generating a great
Why is
content.
an RPC on TikTok? Would you teach him how to do that?
He can barely
I
use...
think he just got on TikTok.
Ah.
What?
Or as he says, Tic Tac. I think.
Do you have
What?
anything to share with us?
No, not.
I'll do
not
my
yet.
research
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah. I'll let Christina curate the best collection.
Send me the reminder. I'm on it tonight, Brew. I can't believe that I didn't know that. I'm the queen of talk.
You are.
What the F? Anyway, I see. Do you think those are dentures? That's a question I'm wondering medically.
I wasn't paying attention to her teeth. I know how focused you are on teeth.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised she has them, which is
correct.
She
So-
doesn't look like she should.
Therefore, it must be dentures.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just doing deductive reasoning on this one. I'm not even looking at her mouth. I'm not even going to ask her. Well, give me a little mouth shot just so I can
Deductive
see if we can
reasoning.
move it forward a little bit.
From around your fucking dick. So
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
that is not the teeth of. That's not the teeth of her. What's her name? Does she have a name? Cheryl. Cheryl's the one that flies at her with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Pokes.
Pokes.
Poke Salad Annie. There you go.
Poke salad.
Oh, don't
No,
ask.
no.
Next.
Okay, next. But that's dentures.
That's not a good.
Oh. Ooh, look at that. Spider-Man.
What do you think?
What do you think? What do you think of that talent?
I think it's Captain America.
You think that he resembles Captain America?
I'm just thinking, I know how men are and males generally, particularly at that age. And I'm thinking during this Corona thing, you're going to see a lot more stuff like that on TikTok.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because men left to their own devices do weird stuff like that. They do. Show you my prowess.
Do you think, now I brought this up on YMH on our coronavirus special, that 9/11 made me randy. I had the impulse to F. On this
I
pandemic,
saw
I'm
that.
not into it. I don't
No.
feel like fucking. I feel like
Really?
baking. I feel like eating.
This is an interesting phenomenon generally, which is my take on it. It must be that this is not a real. Your brain is a perfect instrument. Your body is a perfect instrument. So this
Thank
must
you.
not be a real crisis.
right.
Your body's not reacting to it like a real crisis.
It's not.
And I know my wife said the same thing. She goes, "It's like we had an 8.5 earthquake, and we're all under the rubble trying to dig out. Except there was no earthquake.
no- yeah.
we never had an earthquake.
Yeah.
And so there's no real there. And I would also here's the interesting thing about the human behavior. Teen mom, right? Teen moms. Becoming a teen parent is a marker for mental health issues, so at least adverse childhood experiences. And isn't it interesting that a young person that is exposed to adverse experiences immediately responds by, I better reproduce quickly?
Yes.
You would think it'd be the opposite, but the
Yes.
reproducing quickly is, no, the environment is dangerous. I'm not going to last very long here. We got to create another life quick.
That's what I felt on 9/11
Exactly.
unconsciously. I wasn't thinking of
Exactly.
children.
It's the same exact thing.
Yes.
It's the same exact phenomenon.
But there isn't the thread is not,
So we've got to create a real thread here so men in the world can be satisfied.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is that the masturbation levels must be going through the roof right now.
Yeah, that is the equivalent of male masturbation.
Sure.
That's the same energy
Yeah.
you're seeing there with Captain America. Oh, you think it's funny? I mean,
I
mean it
do.
quite literally. Okay. Oh
God.
we gotta stop it now.
Hi everyone, just wanted to get on here to tell y'all that I think I'm leaving TikTok.
Oh.
Anyway, I've enjoyed all the friendships and everything, but some drama's going on that
Oh no.
I'm heartbroken, man. He's leaving TikTok. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
The 40-year-old male, shirtless,
And I don't understand.
is leaving.
I don't understand relationship on TikTok. I don't understand what that even means. What does
Doesn't.
that mean?
They're not real. What are you talking about?
Do people give feedback of some type, or do they?
Yeah, you can like DM. People can make comments. Like I liked a bunch of this guy. His name was Butch Pigeons. 95
Pigeons?
95 pigeons. Sorry, I couldn't think of the number.
Butch Pigeons.
And he and I started like a little friendship.
Oh.
Like through DM, but it's not a real life friendship yet.
sounds
I was supposed to
dangerous.
meet him in New York. No, he's a teenager. He's like a sweet 20-year-old.
Here we go.
Oh, this guy.
I love my mom very much because she bought me tickets to Boston to see my dad March 7th on Saturday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Bye.
Don't make fun of him.
Let me ask you this.
It's not fair.
But let me ask you this. This is a pertinent question. In France, there's a woman with Down syndrome who's running for whatever it is.
Hey,
some
you got to meet
foreign
people where they are.
shit they do. Yeah. Anyways, she's running for a government office.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get inclusivity, but is that really you want a Down syndrome person as your elected official, teaching other people how to vote, other Downs? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like I trust an electorate enough not to put somebody in a position who has deficiencies.
You'd think that, but...
Yeah. So I don't want to restrict them from running.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
And
why not let the really seriously cognitively impaired people run then?
Right. What's the limit? Where do we
start? Oh, it's very interesting.
It is a good moral question.
For me, I'm going to draw the line. I'm going to leave it to the hands electorate.
Don't you wish that the coronavirus would take out people of low IQ? Like if it could sense your IQ,
I do not.
And then just take it out.
I wish
like
it would take out a-holes.
The dumbest. Oh, come on. The dumbest of the dummies.
I don't think either.
Like start somewhere in the deep south.
Oh, I have a call for you.
Okay.
Brian, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey there.
What's going on, Brian?
Hey, mommy.
Hi, Jeans.
So I'm having this problem with my penis smelling. Kind of like has a fishy smell.
I love it.
Around the head, like I get like kind of a buildup, I'd say.
Oh, dude, we got to give we need a little primer on foreskins here. The buildup is called.
Yeah.
The buildup is something called smegma.
I remember this from Loveline.
Yes.
That's how I learned about it.
And smegma is a buildup mostly of sort of skin and debris from the area, but bacteria love that moist, no oxygen environment, and the bacteria that live there are anaerobic bacteria, and they make a stinky smell. So the trick is to clean more regularly, twice a day, clean with soap and water. And dry it, bone dry, like with a hair dryer. Okay, so you're completely dry before you put the foreskin back up.
Oh, so he does have you still have your foreskin, right?
Well, it kind of grew back.
So you have enough foreskin to at least go over the. Sometimes it's not incomplete.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. So just fold everything back, clean it out well, dry it off, and there's actually something called something like a foul fish odor syndrome. There's some people genetically will put off the smell all the time of dying fish.
Peeners?
Dead fish.
Or in
everywhere.
vaginas.
No, everywhere. Like their body. Yeah.
No.
It's called like the dead fish syndrome or something. I've never seen it. I've read about it a couple times.
That sounds like a nightmare.
DAD fish.
Oh my God.
Smell.
And they smell like that from all their pores?
From everything. Oh, he's looking it up right there. Fish odor syndrome. There it is. See? You shouldn't put a cute. It's a genetic disease. Symptoms often present from birth. Fish odor syndrome is characterized by an offensive body odor and the smell of rotting fish due to excessive excretion of trimethylaminoria.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I would kill myself for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, your breath smells like that. Your urine, your sweat.
No, not your breath, so much because it's a sweat gland kind of thing.
Oh my God.
And so yeah, maybe make your.
That is a nightmare. What?
Why do you laugh at the strangest things?
Yeah.
Like that's not funny. That's where you draw the line.
No, because I'm picturing myself with that one, and I'm like, oh, that would be a life crusher. Because who would love me?
We've gone from the foreskin to another part of the body, and talk to Nelson.
How you doing, Dr. Drew?
Nelson, what's happening, man?
How you doing? This is so exciting. So me and my man, we date two girls that are friends, long time dating them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we were having a conversation about fellatio, and my man said he doesn't eat her out because she doesn't know how to clean it right. So it's like, what you mean? And it's she basically says every time he has sex with her and he orgasms in her, he has to wait a certain amount of days before it smells proper again. Now, they're best friends or girls, so I can't ask my girl the proper way to clean out a veg. But I was just wondering if there's some way to say it, and what is the proper way to clean out a veg? I can't find it on the internet.
All right. I'm glad you called.
Are you saying that after your friend ejaculates
That's
in
when the
her,
smell
it
goes up.
smells
Yeah.
after that?
Yeah.
Because
for a couple
there's
days.
semen in there.
But well, he can't do it the next day. You know what I'm saying? He can't eat her out the next day.
Well, yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying?
Does he take care of business before he ejaculates? Is that his game?
Usually
Okay.
that's
all
the
right.
thing.
So he's
It's
a good guy.
foreplay,
All right. So he's
you
not.
know,
All right. I get it. He's an all right dude. He's doing his business. You don't generally clean out a veg.
Yeah,
It's
you
generally not
shouldn't.
something you should do. So I'm wondering. I mean, she could get a douche and do a little something.
That's
It's
going to
not-
make it so much worse.
It's not good for her is the problem. It may not make
Yeah.
it worse.
But then, I mean, she'll get a yeasty because it
Right.
messes up your pH
can
and
happen,
everything.
Can happen. Yep. What do we do?
Just don't go down on her a few days after, or just don't have him ejaculate inside of her because that's what's
Here's-
causing the smell.
Well, not
right. It's
usually a bad smell usually means a bacterial infection or a
Mm.
protozoan infection. So this
Everyone else not fun.
Yeah, it's a hard conversation to have is to go, hey,
Yeah.
I've noticed, and there's something called bacterial vaginosis, BV.
Yes.
Look up bacterial vaginosis online, and also here goes look at.
or even just a yeast infection can
Nah,
mess up. No.
So bacterial vaginosis and or trichomoniasis both can be associated with. Let me read you the Google version. Bacterial vaginosis is a type of vaginal inflammation caused by overgrowth of bacteria that are naturally found. Women in their reproductive years are likely to have BV, but it can affect women of any age. And if you click on what's below there in the knob, which says symptoms and causes, let's look through that. Symptoms are gray, white, green, friendly, foul, smishy, vaginal itch, fishy smell. Where's the causes? Because causes are sort of
There we go. There we go.
Overgrowth, one of several naturally occurring bacteria. They upset the natural balance of microorganisms. So it's just an overgrowth. And so ask her if she's had a pap smear in a while, and maybe it's time to get a pap smear. And then, maybe while you're there, she'd go with her and could say, "Hey, I've noticed something changed," and I don't know, just be very vague. Something doesn't smell the same or something, and let the doctor do the workup from there. That's, I think, our Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, and listen, I think women know when their stuff is not kosher. I mean, you gotta know.
If it's mild, though, sometimes they don't.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, and so
I'm like Robin. I take a whiff of my own. I'm always checking smells.
we're proud of you.
Thanks.
Here comes we have.
I love investigating everything, though, but I'm not shy.
I had a dream.
I'm not shy.
2 nights ago, where because of all this toilet paper talk, I ran out of toilet paper.
Oh no!
In the world, had to use my hand.
They do in the Middle East.
I know. I was on an episode. I do a nightly show on Fox 11 now, and Dr. Oz was on with me.
Yeah.
And he did 10 minutes on wiping your ass with your hand.
Mehmet
and
Oz.
I said, Mehmet, you're getting a little too carried away with the hand.
Yeah.
The rest of the world wipe with their hand and then they wash their hand. So I had a dream of doing exactly that. Except what I brought to the sink was quite a burden.
What was it? Just a lot of sloppy?
Yes, on my hand.
Yeah.
Like full soft swirl. Like look sort of like the emoji, like the poo emoji.
I got the chills.
Like the poo emoji was on my hand.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like a full.
Yes. Yes. Like
and you put it in the sink?
And I was like, what? Now this is what he thinks is a good idea. I'm having a conversation with myself about Mehmet and his hand washing technique.
Can I tell you what I find odd about Dr. Oz? Because I follow him on the Grum. In the morning, he doesn't have coffee. He drinks hot water and then 10 almonds that he has soaked in water overnight. Yeah. That's his breakfast. What the fuck is going on there?
He is a super compulsive, super smart dude.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen when he has his first medical problem.
100%.
Because he's pretending like he had a colon polyp about 4 years ago, and he behaved like, I had a polyp. I'm like, yeah, you're biological too, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Stuff's going to happen. And so as he hits the 60s and 70s, I'll be curious to see how he responds to that, because things happen to all of us.
Oh, yeah.
You can only control so much. And this extreme controlling always gets sort of shattered.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The hot water and the 10 almonds. I almost died.
Danny, before I get back to you, you need to roll up your window or get on your speak, whatever it is. You sounded like you were in the middle of a tornado. I muted you because we couldn't stand the sound of your call. I'm coming back right now, so we're hoping it's going to be better, Danny. Here we are. Caller named Danny.
Is it better now, Drew? I'm sorry. I was outside taking a walk.
You were like... Can
you hear me okay?
I hear you now, but was there a funnel cloud next to you at the time? My goodness.
No, I have no idea. But is it better now? Can you hear me?
Way better. You're good. You're good. So what's up?
Okay, I'm holding the microphone up to my face.
All right,
all right. Well, first of all, Drew, I just want to say thank you for all the stuff you've been doing on your personal podcast. You know, trying to keep the world calm. You know, giving rational speeches.
Thank you.
I really
trying.
appreciate that.
And it's weird. It's weird how when you have nothing but positive intent in your heart, you're trying to get everybody to calm down. How people attack that.
Oh yeah.
It's just crazy. Like you're trying to kill people. You want to kill people. No, it's not what I want to do. No. I know that's surprising to you, but it's not what I want to do. Danny, go ahead.
You're back in the wind tunnel.
Careful. Wind's picking up.
Oh, I'm so all right, it's gone now. Can you?
Yep.
Am I okay? Can
You're better. You're better.
Oh, okay. So I remember last time on Dr. Drew After Dark, you mentioned that you wanted relationship questions.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
I have one. If you want to hear.
We are ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll try to break this down as quickly as I can.
All right, and I want you to.
I met a girl on Tinder.
Hang on. I want you to. If I interrupt, just listen to my question and stick with the question, because sometimes people can. I'll help you shape your story a little bit. So go ahead. You met this girl on Tinder.
Okay. Yeah, I met this girl on Tinder, and we went on our first date, and we vibed really well.
Okay.
We had a great time. We had a lot of intimate conversations, a lot of stuff that you normally wouldn't share on a first date.
Good.
Just like really deep stuff.
That's enough. Okay. And.
Okay, yeah, and that went great. And then we met up for a second date, and again, we had a really great time.
Got it. And
we were vibing very well.
And got it. And
yeah, and like we had some pretty heavy making out and whatnot.
Okay.
And an important thing to mention is that she's bisexual, and I'm the first male relationship she's had in like 5 years.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 22 and I'm 23.
Okay, so
and she even told me how surprised she was that she was dating a guy.
Right.
And like she even said, "Oh, I'm so comfortable with you. You know, you even make me wet," which I'm surprised. She's like, "You should be proud of yourself." And she seemed really into me.
Okay,
and I was really into her.
Hold on. So she thought she was gay, and it turns out that she left the door open and she likes a guy. Okay, so where did it go bad?
No, I mean, I don't think she thinks she was gay. She told me like she was bisexual and she tried guys, and then one day she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try a girl."
Why would she be surprised? But why would she be surprised that she liked a guy if she was truly bisexual? She would assume she didn't like guys anymore.
Because before me, she was in a over 2-year relationship with a woman, so I guess she got used to it.
All right. So where'd it go bad? What happened?
Okay, so we met for a third date. We were just hanging out. I picked her up after she finished her classes one day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just acting really weird, like she didn't want to be around me.
Okay.
And, I tried kissing her a few times, and she kissed me back, but it wasn't as passionate as it was the time before.
Yep.
And, yeah, she was just acting weird, like she didn't want to be with me.
Okay.
So after that third encounter, I would text her, and she would answer me back, like, every few hours. She seemed like she didn't really want to talk to me. And then about like 5 or 6 days ago, I was texting her and she just straight up stopped responding to me.
Okay.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Okay. She's ghosting you.
Does your penis smell fishy?
No, how dare you? How dare you?
No, I actually wore cherry chapstick the whole time. And, she said she was into my cherry chapstick. She liked being around me.
All right.
She said like blatantly like, "Oh, I'm into you." And, you like, and she said she's comfortable being around me, and she told me some really deep stuff, and we had a few intimate moments. And
yeah, that's because girls.
I was just really confused when she ghosted me.
Because lesbians and girls, when girls are with girls, they bond quickly. That's what women do. We become best friends super fast. So that's normal girl behavior. What do you think's going on?
Well, when you said it, you felt like she didn't want to be with you. That's exactly it. She didn't want to be with you. Now the question of why she didn't want to be with you sort of is
all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it's sort of moot. By the sounds of things, it sounds like she's somebody that has intimacy problems, and you became too intimate too fast, and that scared her away. The intimacy itself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so there are people like that have the relationships they build are very superficial and sort of oftentimes dramatic, and they use the drama as a way of connecting rather than actual intimacy. And you showed her actual intimacy, and so hell no. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but people are like that. A lot of people are like that.
They're called narcissists.
No,
right?
no, not necessarily. It can be in many different personality styles, but it's an intimacy disorder.
Oh, a disorder. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I guess
She also said she suffers from depression, if that makes any
No.
difference.
It's all part of the whole.
Like a therapist for her
yeah,
once
it's
a week.
part of the whole deal. She is not somebody that, all of our craziness comes out in relationships.
Yeah.
That's where everything comes out. And her particular thing is that she can't be close. And I'm guessing. Again, I don't know her and I don't know you, but I'm guessing that's the case.
And how old are you guys again?
He was 22 and 23.
Oh, sweetie, this is also just called being in your early 20s, late teens. You're probably going to have a few of these where you think this is a thing that you like, and then maybe she got together with some ex-girlfriend over the weekend, or
right. There could be a million things in the way. Right.
It's just being your age. And
right. And so people,
it's normal.
I used to always tell my wife, I said, people in their 20s treat each other like shit.
Yeah.
They just really do. That's just the way it is.
Brutal. It's just brutal.
It's brutal. 'Cause so what Christina is saying is she might have just rehooked up with somebody over the weekend and decided, I want to be with that person.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's just
it could be as
stupid.
simple as that.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as that.
That's what I was doing in my early 20s. So
I thought you were busy pushing everybody away and telling them they suck.
Yeah, that too. But I was also like, I think I love you. Nah, all right. Nah, like, you're just dumb. You don't know what you want at 20 years old.
Zach, go right ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Zach.
I was calling because I just don't get enough blowjobs from my wife. We've been married for 5 years. Well, let me go back through it. I'm sorry to start so strong.
Oh, no, I love
we've
it.
been married for 5 years, and I haven't gotten one since the day we got engaged, May the 2nd, 2014.
So
and
essentially,
it's confusing.
Good girl. That's a long stretch. Yeah. Sorry. No. Go ahead.
Well, it's so odd because she started the first blowjob she gave me was roadhead that I didn't even ask for, and then while we were dating, it was not infrequent.
False advertising.
Yeah.
That was false advertising.
Yeah. It's called How We Get You to Get Married, sucker.
Wow.
She thought I had money, but I didn't.
Oh, that's false advertising too. You played the same game. So what do we do here? What does he do?
All right. How long have you been married for? 5 years. Do you have kids?
5 years, yeah.
How many kids?
We have a 3.5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay. Well, first let me tell you something. You think that's her first thought in life after chasing around a 3 and a 2-year-old all day is, I have to blow my husband? It's the last thing on her mind.
Not.
Now, I'm not saying that but here's what you do then, because it means a lot to you. It sounds like you want it. What have you done for her lately? Let's go there.
Whoa.
What have you done for her?
Suddenly, woo!
Because
Turns the tables.
because women, now listen, we need to be wooed. You have to make it so that she wants to please you. In her mind, she's taxed, spent, and at the end of the day, she doesn't want to fucking blow you.
So you taking the garbage out,
yes,
and fixing the garbage disposal, that's foreplay.
Yes. Are you doing all that?
Yes, I'm a carpenter by trade.
Oh, see, he can do all that.
Like everything is clean down there. I've even stopped farting in front of her.
Whoa! Wow. Maybe you got to start again.
All right, take her out for dinner.
I know.
Get her wind up. Okay, you're gonna take her to a nice dinner. Oh, maybe when this quarantine's over, you're gonna have a nice meal.
You can go out to dinner.
And you're gonna say, "I miss us. I miss you. I want to be closer to you." You know what? And she'll go, "Really? Me too. I feel sad with the kids because my life sucks because I have a 3 and a 2-year-old. What can I give you? And then what can she give? You know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest. Like, you know what I really love? I just want just a BJ, a quarterly BJ.
It makes me feel so close. It makes me feel connected.
I miss you. I like you. I love you. I need this, or I want this.
I tried that on my wife last night, and she started laughing.
Susan's like, I heard that shit before.
No, she literally thought I was hysterical. that helped, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. So.
I did that to Tom last night. I go, I need to cuddle. I need you to hold me. I'm scared. And he's like, all right. Like he's a dope. And I just force it on him. But no, it's about connection. Women want connection, and we want to feel that you give a shit too.
Yeah. And by the way, satisfaction plummets during childbearing years.
Oh, forget it.
And it comes back. It does come back. So hang in. It comes back, and it can get better even than where you started in the long run.
Yes, in the long run.
Yeah,
Once the kid hits 4, it's a different story.
It's at 5. It's a different story. 5. I told you 5. I told
4
you.
is pretty great. I'm excited about life again.
5 is really good. Okay, we'll take maybe one more call here. This is something I've dealt with over the years quite a bit, and I'm upset by it that nobody tells anybody about this. Jack, go ahead.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Jack.
Hey, Dr. Drew.
Hey, man.
So my girlfriend has depression. She's taken SSRIs, and she's been really prone to the sexual side effects of them. She just recently started on Cymbalta. I wanted to know, like, I know it's an SNRI. I wanted to know if, like, that's a more common thing with Cymbalta, and what should I do if we start having those issues?
It is common with Cymbalta, not as common as the pure SSRIs, but it certainly can still occur, and the dosing is a little more variable with Cymbalta, so they may be able to get her into a lower dose where she won't have as many sexual side effects. But really, the only two, well, there are 4 really that are low on sexual side effects. One is Cerazone, which they took off the market. That was a really good medicine. The other is Wellbutrin, Remeron, which is available. It's a little tricky to use, but Remeron's out there. And then Lexapro in low dose. Yeah, you had the Lexapro?
10 milligrams a day saved my life. I love it.
And no sexual side effects.
No.
Yeah. So those are the 4 that really are low in that category. And
are any of them SNRIs?
No. Okay. The SNRIs, again, they have wider spectrums of dosing, and they have less side effects sexually than the pure SSRIs, but they can have them too. So you'll see if she gets it from this one, she needs to discuss one of those other 4. So, and by the way, the doctors don't sit down and talk about this in detail with their patients. Drives me insane.
The sex stuff?
Yes.
I was warned up and down.
It ruins relationships if people aren't sort of prepared for it. And so I got asked that question in 1999. And at that time, I'd been doing a campaign for the people that make Wellbutrin, not a branded campaign, a campaign to raise awareness about the side effects of SSRIs, because the other brands were refusing to acknowledge that it developed. Now, of course, Wellbutrin was interested in me doing that because theirs didn't have that side effect, right? So I was asked that question on a radio show, and I gave that answer that I just gave you, which is there were 3 at the time. We didn't have Lexapro then. And I forgot to go, oh, and by the way, I accepted a stipend to give lectures around the country.
Shit.
Yeah, so I got named in a $4 billion suit against the drug company. And then that goes down as I'm a shill for the drug companies.
Oh, Jesus.
That became a 20-year story.
Oh, my God.
That to this day people will bring up. And they don't even understand what they're bringing up.
Oh.
I'm entitled to tell people what I just told him.
Yeah.
But that year, I was doing a campaign to raise awareness about SSRIs, and I just gagged. I just didn't say, oh, by the way, I have I have something to disclose. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
It's one of those drugs I get. I didn't make anything of the particular drug. I was just like,
I'm still upset that your wife pushed you away and was like, I
she didn't
hate
just
your
pull away.
feelings.
She laughed hysterically, which I thought was close to what I was looking for, but not exactly what I wanted. So I kept going.
Whoa!
I kept going. I thought, okay, at least I'll make her laugh, and sometimes that'll yield something else, right?
Yeah.
So I kept going with more cartoonish kinds of overtures.
Yeah, that's what Tom does. He'll just be more vulgar than anything. Like, do you want to suck it later? And I'll be like, no. All right. Should we do it? Go do it. Like that. Like we kind of. Like that, and that's how I know when the bear just goes like, ah. That's true.
Can I try that tonight? See if it
works?
Be
like, you gotta fucking do it tonight.
I don't think it'll. I think it would go from laughter to horror.
But see, I kind of like it because I know he's very masculine. I like that energy. You know, like a bear energy. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's probably why we lasted for so long.
How long you guys been together again?
15 years. Good. Yeah. Wild.
Yeah,
Went
but
by fast.
At 15 and beyond, you sort of start. It's one day at a time.
Is that right?
But I mean that literally. In that each day that you're happy, you don't think about anything else. I'm happy today. I'm happy today. It's good. You know, you don't think. And if you have some sort of problem, you work on it. And if you're back to happy again,
it's awesome. So when it's great, it's great.
All right, let us wrap this thing up. We'll do another show with more calls.
Love it.
Coming down the pike. We appreciate you guys coming in and supporting people to support the show. Check out all my stuff still at drdrew.com. As one of our callers mentioned, I'm doing a streaming show every day to try to up people. I'm doing 2 streaming shows. One I do from my home to try to update people on what's going on with Corona. I do another one, Fox 11 here in Los Angeles, and we have a Facebook live that 1 million people show up for.
I love it. Where can people see this update that you're giving from your
Fox
home?
11 LA is
that's the
you
one?
go to their website, and their Facebook page is really where we do the chat, and that's at 7:30 Pacific time every day. Monday through Friday.
I'm on this, dude. I'm on this,
and it's pretty good. And we try to get you updated on all the stuff that's going on in the news. And it's crazy when you try to bring the stories up to date. There's so much that happens every day about this thing.
That's why I'm thoroughly depressed by dinner time. I'm ready.
Yeah,
to
it's too
jump
much.
out the window.
It's too much, everybody. Let's just don't worry. We're gonna be fine. They're gonna get this thing. I don't mean you're gonna catch it. I mean they're gonna get the suppression of the curve that they're looking for. I just know it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to promote anything, or everything's on hold?
No live dates. Just so you guys know, the agents are pulling dates until mid-May. It looks like is we're shooting for, but who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Why do you think? You think it's going to be July, August that we're going to get our lives?
Oh no, I think June. I think
you're right. I think they're going to oversay it so that when they deliver in June,
I think June will be pretty good shape. And in the meantime, let's stay close to people that we care about and watch YouTubes and listen to podcasts. And
yes,
bake
and overeat and
yeah, it's weird.
Drink.
I've been extra hungry lately. That's my response too.
Depression.
Yeah, weird.
Anyway, listen to Where My Mom's At and Your Mom's House. Everything in Studio Jeans. Thank you.
And if you need more from us during this time, write in, email, let us know. We'll try to deliver more during this time.
Hey man, I ain't going anywhere.
We got time. Let's do it. All right, we'll see you next time.